Here's a magic trick you can do with $1. Hand your friend $1. Now have your friend buy a $1 cookie from you. Look at that. Your sales just went up. Your friend owns a cookie, and yet nothing new exists in the world. Nobody actually got richer. Now add 12 zeros. Welcome to the AI economy of 2026. Let's follow the real money with real numbers. This February, Nvidia invested $30 billion into OpenAI. What does OpenAI do with money? It buys computing power, which runs almost entirely on Nvidia chips. In total, Nvidia has now placed over $40 billion of bets on AI companies, and many of them spend that money on Nvidia hardware. Microsoft put around $13 billion into OpenAI over the years. OpenAI pays much of it back by renting Microsoft's cloud. Microsoft fills that cloud with, you guessed it, Nvidia chips. There's more. Nvidia backs a company called CoreWeave, whose entire business is buying Nvidia chips and renting them to OpenAI and Microsoft. Bloomberg literally published a map of these deals, because you now need a map to follow the money. So here's the question that should bother you. If everyone is paying everyone inside the same circle, how much new money is entering from outside? Now count the stakes on your fingers. Nvidia is worth about $4.7 trillion, the most valuable company on Earth. That's more than the entire yearly economy of Japan. OpenAI was just valued at $852 billion after raising $122 billion, the largest private funding round in history. And in June, it filed for an IPO chasing a $1 trillion price tag. Sounds unstoppable. Until you look at the other column. OpenAI earns about $25 billion a year, $2 billion a month. Solid. But it plans to burn $27 billion this year alone, and projections say $63 billion next year. Read that again. The company at the center of the AI economy spends more than everything it earns. Its valuation is 34 times its revenue with no profit in sight. And the builders are all in too. 5 companies, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta, and Oracle, plan to spend roughly $690 billion this year on AI data centers, almost double last year. Goldman Sachs projects $1.6 trillion per year by 2031. These giants now pour 34 cents of every dollar they earn into construction. At the peak of the dot-com bubble, the same number was 15 cents. For the first time in 35 years, their free cash flow has turned negative. Meanwhile, all AI companies combined earn back roughly $1 for every 10 spent on their behalf. 1 in, 10 out, every single year. Who covers the difference? If this feels new, it isn't. In 1999, telecom giants Lucent and Nortel ran the same trick. They lent their own customers money so the customers could buy their equipment. It even had a polite name, vendor financing. Revenue looked spectacular, right up until the borrowed money ran out. Nortel lost 99% of its value. And Cisco, the company selling the hardware of the internet, the most valuable company on Earth in March 2000, exactly the seat Nvidia occupies today, fell 80%. A quarter of a century later, it still hadn't fully climbed back. Now, be careful with the obvious conclusion. A bubble in the money does not mean the technology is fake. The railway mania of the 1840s ruined thousands of investors, and the railways still changed the world. The internet survived the dot-com crash just fine. The real question was never whether AI survives, it's who pays for the party. And look closely because the bill may already be printing. Between May and July this year, Nvidia quietly lost $1 trillion in market value. Alibaba's chairman, Joe Tsai, says he sees the beginning of some kind of bubble. The Uptime Institute reports that many announced data centers will simply never be built. And remember Intel. It ruled the chip world for 30 years, then missed mobile, then missed AI. Giants don't fall loudly, they fall quietly, one canceled order at a time. So remember that dollar, circling between you and your friend. In March 2000, a dollar exactly like it suddenly stopped moving, and the world discovered there was nothing behind it but trillions in promises. Today's dollar is still running the loop, faster every quarter. The only question is how you'll find out when it stops, from the news or from your retirement account.